And every time we close our eyes to practice meditation, let's take a moment to remind ourselves of the purpose of what we are doing. What we are doing here is giving the space and time for the mind to help us, for the mind to deal with all of the troubles, pollution that we face day by day, and even what you will face in the meditation. And the way we will help the mind is by simply doing one action, and that is reminding ourselves to know, telling your mind to be aware of an object. Because once your mind is aware, that state of awareness arises. It is the awareness that pulls up good energy. It is the awareness that allows the energy to arise and run the mind system. Think of it like a self-cleaning program that all of us here have, and it will run automatically every time we are mindful. Throughout our day, there are times where we are mindful, there are times where we are not. All those times, we are not the one in control. Our mindfulness comes and goes. But for this session, we want to take back control by being the one who make that decision to be aware, putting the faith of our life in our hand and make that decision. Because it is not our job to clean, we are similar to a wealthy person with their personal cleaners who will do everything for their behalf. So therefore, relax, enjoy, watch as your object express itself every moment, and your team of cleaners, that is your mind, will do their very best to clean the kingdom, that is your body and the mind itself. And when we are ready, we can gently open up our eyes. All right. For okay. What I thought we'll do today was to look back and recall a little bit from what we talked about yesterday. I think I would ask people how they're doing and maybe they have a question or anything first before we go to that topic. All right. So, does anyone have any questions? Anything they want to talk about on how they're feeling too? Okay.
I don't know if Miriam would like to meditate longer, but I would love to hear how she's doing now because last week we talked. Hi Miriam, I don't want to disturb the meditation. Not sure if she hears us. Miriam, do you hear us? I think
she must be frozen potentially because there's no movement. Because I was looking for a minute or two there, but I didn't see any like movements.
I see her eye. I see her eye move. I see movement.
You accidentally put the thingy, the tone off.
So
What are we gonna do? How can we tell her? Stop managing.
no,
I think maybe
yeah, she's like deep in. She's like, when will the session start and everything?
Worst comes to worst, she just gets to like meditate for a while, which will be really lovely. And then at some point, she'll be like, "Oh, how come it's not starting yet?" Oh, there we go.
Can you text her for me? If she, all right.
Let's see if she has her phone off. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you can.
Can me? All right. I don't think I can do add.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Try this, and then she'll notice.
Remove from the call? Really?
She'll notice.
She'll notice?
I hope so.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Otherwise.
Okay. Should I remove from the call? It's an experiment. It's an experiment. Okay. I'm gonna.
Worst comes to worst, like she'll just meditate until she realizes.
What will it say? I remove from her from the call?
Nothing happens.
I didn't remove her yet.
No.
Should I?
Do whatever you think is correct.
So I need second opinion here.
If you do, definitely message her immediately and be like, "Hi, we just like ended the call in case
Can you?
In case muted."
Okay, I'm gonna remove her from the call.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Sorry, Miriam. It's because we love you and we want you to join.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Well, actually, because we were talking about tools, the question I thought I would love to ask is like, you also having been on this path for a while and everything, what do you think are the tools that you use, tangible and intangible, and that have really served you along your journey?
What do you mean, like tangible and intangible? Do you mean like ones that work together, ones that don't, ones that are like separate?
Tangible and intangible meaning, like for example, endurance is a state of mind, but it's a tool. If you use it at the right time, then it can help you through a situation. And
Miriam!
Ah,
I mean, yeah, it worked.
Oh, I can see you.
Can you hear? Can you hear me at least?
Okay, now I can. Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you well. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes. So Operation Kicking Me worked. So yes. How are you, Miriam? We get back to you, Zoe. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm doing very well. Today has been a restful morning. After a while, I was able to sleep in until my body felt like sleeping in without an alarm, and that felt really, really nice. And yeah, so it's been an easy, peaceful morning after a while, and I'm very enjoying this restness that I feel, as I've been always busy in the morning and rushing, but always as well mindful while I'm rushing as well. So I am I'm well. I'm well. Yes.
that's really good. I wanted to ask if like you want to share how everything has been since last week, like since we talked last. How have the situations been? Was there anything that was different?
Yeah, I think last week I shared with you how how hard sometimes it is being at home with my family. But I've noticed that there are moments where I am uh, where I tend more to react when I am more tired. So I'm trying to work on not getting that tired because I feel like uh, my tolerance can become very low, and I am very mindful with when I'm tired, when I'm outside, when I'm at work. I can control that tiredness and still be aware and mindful. But when I'm at home and I feel tired at the end of my day, I'm making my dinner. Uh, I am less patient than usual because I am tired, so I tend to tolerate less. So it's still challenging since last week we talked, but it's definitely easier to notice that this happens when I'm tired so that I can prevent that, knowing that now I'm tired. So now that I tend to react, so I will avoid maybe starting like that type of conversation that I usually do, or I will just avoid speaking. Like I'm trying to kind of have a little alarm when I know that I'm tired, because I know that's when exactly uh, the bad instinct comes in and tells me, say this, do this. So, yeah, it's been still challenging, but I've been noticing a little bit of improvement, knowing that when I'm tired, that happens more often,
Thank you for sharing.
of course.
Mm. Uh, it probably feels like imagine you always come back to a house that's always messy and dirty. Even if you have a beautiful day, just coming onto a house, it's easy to get frustrated. Things cluttered everywhere. That's the other way of saying how exhaustion makes you feel is less tolerable because the mind, the body, there's like a um heaviness from all the pollution comes up to makes you heavy. Mm. So I really like how you are implementing and how you are dealing with that. That's really, really good. Now, one thing that I can share, because I heard from someone, his name is Mark. He said that, every hour I meditate for like 5 minutes. I think for some that may be a good starting point too, where we say, okay, let me take like my routine or ritual 5 to 10 minutes just to do some routine maintenance of my mind. And to make sure that there is rest throughout the day, before it clumps up, before the pollution clumps up too much to make it exhausted. We might not have high ceiling for exhaustion, for tolerate exhaustion, but we can tie it down every hour so that it doesn't fill up. But right now, a very great improvement and how far you've come. So it's nice that you have able to move on, right? From last time we talked, move on. Is it out yet? Not, but you see that every week it's getting better and better, and that is a kind of very good to see. So very good to hear.
Thank you, Julie.
Mm.
Yeah, and your way of dealing with it again and again is very admirable. Like very admirable. Like every time, being so truthful, like with yourself, like what is going on for you, and then like putting dots together instead of it's not easy, you know, like it's not easy sometimes. Either we're not aware of it, or it's difficult to be that quite frank with ourselves. So that's really, really, yeah. And I think that like I said last week, that way of going about things is going to get you far, not just in this situation, but like in any other situation too.
Yes, that's what I also remind myself, that this is a practice for me for life, because now I feel this way at home, but it might happen that I will be in a different environment, and I will have to deal with this feeling of tiredness, and I want to improve on how I can better respond to these feelings. So thank you so much for listening and sharing.
Okay, very good. It's training for your life, correct? And that's why it's worth it to pause and to come and practice this, or put more weight to this in throughout our day, because it is to elevate our life that it will use all the time. So you said it greatly with that. Which then comes to the question that we asked Sophie, and the topic that we talked about yesterday, about tools. Tools. Miriam, what helped you so far are the tools that you gather and learn as you come and talk and go back and learn. But these tools, we cannot touch it, right? It's something that intangible. You cannot see, cannot touch, but somehow we are using it. So in Buddhism, we have to categorize between two things: tools that we can touch, and we know and we are surrounded by them, and we learn in our life how to use them. But the tools that we cannot touch, we don't have in comparison as much. And that's why we come to class to learn the tools. So these tools, in Buddhism, we call them Dhamma or wisdom or software. Now, those are the tools. For you said, I use the tool for understanding. Some people, they said, I need patience. I don't have patience. I mean, they are lacking this thing called patience. If they have it, they not go crazy, if things happen. So these are Dhamma or tools that we all still lack in some form. We do have it, but lacking here. Lacking here doesn't mean don't have it, but how can we elevate them more and more and more? Yesterday we talked about tools and how to use them, and so we bring out a great point of like the teaching here can be personalized, and I said absolutely, because everyone requires different tool at different time. Right? That's why in Buddhism there's so many discourses, 84,000 discourse, because there's so many tools be it from all backgrounds. So this is the topic that Buddha talked about too. He said, "Oh, 45 years of my teaching, so many tools I've teach people in like maybe same tools but different perspective, but different tools too. But then so many amazing tools around us, but what should we use? What is it that we have to never abandon? The ace, the principal tool. This then come back to what we are practicing every day. That's mindfulness, the principal tool. Because when you say, I need to use my endurance, I need to use my patience. If you're not mindful to begin with, can endurance or patience be used? No. You would, if you're not mindful, you go crazy to begin with. But when you're mindful, then you can, okay, I need to be patient now. Patient. I see mindfulness is the progenitor or the beginning of all the other tools. It is so much that the Buddha say, out of all the 84,000 discourses that I taught, mindfulness or sati and knowing thoroughly, sampajanya, these are the two most gratitudeful tools that there is. Um, mm, what I want to talk about here today is to go with more details now about tools and to understand tools and how to use the tools properly. People now write. I would love to see Zoe's notebook because she write all the time. So she must have treasure of tools that she have, all the pretty writing that she have. And also Amira now bringing out her toolbox too, right? Opening up the book. Mm. These tools here, we get to know, get to try, get to use, and then we benefited from the outcome. That's why Buddhism is all about tools. All about tools. And what tools can we use to help us? But also we talk about the tools being used against us by our bad nature inside, or by a virus in the mind that exists, a pollution that used against us. We can know them clearly about this guilt, shame, uh, feeling small, all these negative stuff being used against you. Why do we say this? Because you're not the one who said, you know what, I just want to be anxious today. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna use it today. But for some reason, it's being done upon you. When you face a situation and then poop comes up, coming up to make you feel like that. That's why we say your bad nature, the bad instinct is not you. It's something else that does it to you. Mhm. So that's why we have to learn about the tools that is used in a negative way, in a not good, not bad way, by the bad instinct, by natural instinct against us, because we are because we will, if we don't do anything about it, then they will get their way, right? Anxiety to push you down, and you will go down as they want you to. But we then learn new tools to combat those tools, and how to then stick with our guns, our tools, and acknowledge them. So, like a self-diagnosing doctor, she have to know what disease she's with, right? Being harmed to you, and she have to know what medication you have to use to combat those. That's why knowing about the tools that you can use and tools that will be used against you is very important. Now the question is, how do we use the tools? Right? The tools that we can touch, we know how to use them because there are manuals how to use the tools. If you need to grind a coffee bean, then you have to the papers you have to grind and grind and grind. If you need to fix a bicycle, then they're probably going to be manual for it. But these are tools that we can touch, but tools that we cannot touch, how do we use it? Because this is much more important. We the way the how we use it is to tell the mind to do so. To the mind to do so. Mindfulness, to be aware. You have to remind yourself to be aware and say, hey, be mindful of my body, for example. Have to tell the mind to be aware. If you needed to calm down, then you tell yourself to calm down and pat yourself down, calm down, calm down. Because you need to use calmness. You need to prescribe calmness against whatever you're facing at the time. I said calm, not be calm, be still. Just, but it feels different. It feels something alien, something that you're not used to. That's why I want you to then flip it around and then imagine you are telling other people what to do when they're anxious. What do we tell them to do? Calm down, calm down, calm down. Correct? I'll be patient when they are gonna, burst out. But what we are telling them to do is telling the mind to use calmness, to use patience, and calm, patient. So what is we tell them the name of the tool, calm, easiness, vibrancy, this and that. Each tool have its own name and its own property or software. Calmness is different from patient. Uh, when you're in a situation and people tell you to be patient and it's like, I'm already patient. I need to be calm. You need to tell me to be calm, not patient. Meaning what? Meaning that that's not the right tool. So even we know sometimes what we want. People tell us to be this, be this. We said no, we are already that. We need this thing here that I will mention. So by ordering a mind, the mind will use it, will do it. That's why there's 84,000 of them in various ways. Teaching about ego, about karma, this and that is also one of the tools that we can learn from. So as someone who want to help ourselves, what are the tools that will help us? Now you guys are probably learning the list of tools you might use in your life that is prevalent to you. Maybe during this stage of your life, you need 4 or 5 tools that you use like concurrently because you're dealing with something in your life, like calmness or assurance or self-love. But then when you have moved on from this stage of your life, then you'll find that in your new life, in next chapter, then you meet something different. You need to use different tools. Maybe in the future, you have to then meet someone, then you have to use patience a lot. In the past, you don't have to use patience, but here you have to use patience. So as we go through life, we all have to come across many tools. So have to learn them, recognize them, and then when we find it useful for us, we can then teach people too that hey, if this worked for me, then I will share this with you. But just like medicine, my doctor prescribed me the medication, but the same medication for me wouldn't even work for other people because it might not be the right one. So that's why we need to act like a pharmacist too. A pharmacist who understand what this medication is and what is it used for. And if we are sure with that, we can prescribe them. But if we go with that, that might seem like that might seem okay, that might seem logical, reasonable. But the way the Buddha teach is make it the simplest one. So simple that even if even if you know you don't learn anything from this class, you forgot everything, knowing this one thing will help you, no matter where you are, or these two things, sorry. And knowing the fact that you have a mind as a tool, same as the body, and that your mind, same as your body, have a program or a system that deal with all of the negative thing. It doesn't matter what those negative things are, but it can deal with it. Just like the body can deal with various of different diseases and mutation, your mind also does too. No wonder why, you know, and this is what I want you guys to say out loud and make yourself hear. When people meditate and do breath work, breathing, they say that, oh, breathing make me help me in my life, make me calmer, make me this, make me that. What they are actually saying is that breathing saved my life, right? But isn't that crazy? Breathing saved my life. That statement alone, and we're like, wait a minute, aren't I breathing already? Ever since I born, I've been breathing just as you guys. But how come the people who do breath work say that breathing saves their life? Breathe in, breathe out. When they anxious, they do the stuff. When they are this and that, So why is it that for them breathing save their life, even though everyone around the world does it so? Because when they're breathing like that, they are mindful of their breath. And that's the key. Back to the basis of our practice once again. Then mindfulness. That mindfulness that is so simple, so too good to be true. But yet people around the world, just by being mindful, just by learning how to breathe basically, they can breathe fancy, breathing many different techniques, or just breathe normally. As long as they're mindful, the outcome is the same. Uh, Breath work is something that I've heard for the first time when I was in Papua, meeting people around the world. But in Thai, never heard of this one. We just help you to know the breathing, yet the outcome is the same. So therefore, the commonality between these two is the fact that people are mindful of their breathing. Maybe the fanciness sells, or that's something, or like give trust. I'm not sure, but because they do it on the same principle, it works. So therefore, about tools is, do you want to specialize and use the tool properly or not? If so, then you can learn patience, calmness, happiness, freshness, all these different names, tools that you can use. Or like the Buddha teach, make it simplest. Throughout your day, just know, just be aware of an object. Because you don't have to be wise, the one wiser than that. If you keep the engine of the mind, the good engine of the mind running, then you'll be fine. Not just like the old commercial, a milk, like 1 cup of milk per day, gonna make you live or like a broccoli, eat your broccoli and then you'll live forever, something like that. But mindfulness is not the only tool. It comes together with second thing called knowing thoroughly. A concept that you know but maybe not named yet. Mindfulness is just being aware of an object. Being aware of the breath. That's it. That's mindfulness. Just being aware of an object. And that's what we do already, right? But we don't stop there. When we are aware of the object, what happens next? We know thorough of the object. Meaning our the details that we know expand over time, knowing thoroughly. Just like how you know your chest or your body. At first glance, at first second of being aware, you know, okay, I'm fine, I'm with my body. But after a calm and a few breaths later, you feel more of your body, you're more thorough, nah, and able to notice more things. And that is called sampachanya, or knowing thoroughly. These two, the Buddha said, is the tool that will protect you, look after you, take care of you for the rest of your life. Just by these two simple things. And that two simple thing is the basis of meditation, right? We close our eyes, we tell our mind to be aware, and continue to be aware by reminding ourselves to be aware constantly. That's it. Uh, That's why when I led meditation, you might remember I said, be aware of your object and observe your object express itself. Pay attention. Meditate with respect, just like you are listening to someone. Maybe because when you give your attention to something, you know more of that thing that you are giving attention of. Like what? If you never really look at someone's face for real, you won't know that they have different details in their face. Look at strangers. They look okay, strangers. Your mom, your dad, sure. Your partner, sure. But sit down and stare at them for like a minute. And you said, wait a minute. You have this thing here, that thing, that more details are revealed to you, even though you've seen their face thousands of times. Those details comes because you're concentrated. Mm. That's why when you're meditating, concentrate. So you will know theory of the object. And what happened with that, it will help you, it will help establish you in awareness easily, make you stabilize because you are locked into the object, not wavering anymore, or at least waver less and less as you lock in even more firmly. Just like what? Have you ever seen have you ever experienced a friend you are calling and they don't hear you even though they're next to you and you say hey, because they're what? Because they're lost in thought, they're lost in music, they're lost in the movies that they're watching. They're so deep inside the movie, deep inside the music, that they don't see you or hear you. Yeah. Meaning that even your voice cannot distract their attention because they are saying it's so locked in. So the secret to a good meditation, a good mindfulness, is to concentrate on the object and know the detail of it, so that you can establish yourself, so that you are locked in to the point where nothing else can distract you, and you don't even hear them. Just like how you don't hear your friend calling you when you're really concentrated on something. So mindfulness practice, meditation, is not something new or difficult to understand at all. We use the same concept because it is the same concept. It's just that instead of things happening in the outside world, we close our eyes and go inside. That's all. The object that we are focusing on move from outside to inside or to the body. But still, it works on the same principle here. And just by that alone, your life will be fine, will be good. Now, so this is important for you, and I want to bring it up because there are times when life are tough for you. The life are just tough, and it's like you're tired, you're exhausted, you're done, you know. And then you feel like, man, I have so many tools, but none of it works. I want to be lively. I want to talk to myself nicely, gently, but all this thing doesn't work. So what else can I have refuge to? What else can I do? Because my teacher told me to be in a good system, but I can't do anything. That's why just by knowing that your life is tough right now, that alone can help you. Uh, right now, life gonna be hard, and you know life is hard. I can't be aware. Good, you're aware that you can't be aware. My mind is crazy. Good, know that mind crazy. Know something. Just by knowing that detail, your mind is already running the system to clean everything out. Know that you're sad. Know your give yourself a status report right now. What's going on? Meaning, look at reality right now. What is the reality of Miriam? Is she, and then you can describe reality of Zoe, reality of Christian. just by snap of awareness. Sometimes it's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm jealous. Just by that realization, you stop being jealous. Or like, wait a minute, I'm angry right now. Just by that realization that you're angry, it stop being angry. Although still, some leftover feeling inside, but like you are out of it. Okay, I'm angry. I know. Then you have control over yourself. That's why even knowing the truth, simply knowing what's going on with yourself, that's enough. That's enough. Because knowing arises, awareness arises. So therefore, it then echo to the point when I said make things simple, make things easy. Yeah. Over time, what I do myself is just shred everything out. Coming to class and sharing every day, this and that build up, build up, build up. Where every time I say, you know what, cut everything off. Come to back to the basic, back to basic. Let go of everything. Let go of even the thing that I teach. Let go, and just be aware. That is the thing that I am doing routinely right now because sometimes things are tough. So let go, forget, not forget like delete it, but drop it now. Drop it just so that you can then make life easier. All right. Anyone have any questions that they want to ask? And the tools here, remember, you have to just tell yourself now out of the mind to be aware. Oh, okay. Have a wonderful meal, Zoe. Bye bye. Oh yes, Miriam.
Thank you. Uh, I have a question regards what you said at the beginning, how like calmness is different than being patient. And I found myself that when I was not calm, if someone would tell me stay calm, it would make me more upset sometimes, like more not calm. So I wonder if that can have the same effect if I tell myself to be calm when I'm not calm.
Oh, you know that you don't need calmness. You know that you need to cool down, not to cool down, or you know what you need, the opposite. So when we diagnose ourselves, the key here is to first recognize what tools are used against you. Is it anger? Is it agitation? Or what is the name? That's number one step. First, have to know clearly first. That's why knowing is important. Know first what's going on with Miriam. Secondly, now like a doctor, when you know what's wrong with you, administer the medication, finding the one opposite. If I'm feeling, let's say, if I'm feeling like I feel like life is bleak or like I'm sleepy, wake up or refresh, feel lively, refresh, it's the opposite. Mm. And when I'm anxious, I calm down, correct? Because you want to anxious like poop, 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 when I calm down. When I'm when I am what? Agitated, I said, I hit, let go of it, let go, now let go, let go. Agitated is like you hold on something and you just it keep on shaking you, let go, let go. So by understanding the different tools, then you can then but if someone say calm down, like I'm calm, I don't need calmness, I need other things, they they not they not understand your symptom and give the wrong medication. But you also shouldn't be angry at them, correct? Because they're trying to help. So therefore I say, therefore we should never side with the bad. That's the thing. No matter what happened, we should never ever side with the bad. Because if you say that my allegiance go to the good, but you side with the bad, then need to then recheck again. Now which side are you on? So therefore have to be an advocate, a proponent of the good. Even if at the time you don't have the feeling to like feel nice. But when people say something like, okay, at least they're trying to help me, nah? Thank them, help me, but you can say calmly, thank you very much, and take my time or something like that. Did I answer your
So
question, Miriam?
Yes, yes. So if I understood correctly, if I'm in a situation that I feel a negative sensation, I have to find a tool that is being used against me and use the opposite. Is that correct?
Okay. Then let me lay out the timeline. Okay. The
Okay.
first step is to be aware first. To be aware of you first, and that is no matter what we do, we have to be awareness of ourselves right now. Because when we are aware of ourselves, good system run already. So we need to get that starting. But when you're aware of yourself, you might know or recognize that you're angry right now. Even if you are, you're like, it doesn't click with you, doesn't click with you yet. So be mindful, be mindful. As the mind is dealing with the pollution and blocking your realization. And then when you said, oh, wait a minute, right now, you see yourself, right? I'm angry. Then with that, then you can start to, then, okay, I'm angry right now. Just keep knowing that you're angry. Right? Next step, knowing that you're angry. Because sometimes we cannot use our wisdom. It's just too much at that time. So we said, just keep knowing. Okay, I'm angry right now, knowing. Until the mind behind the scene clean out all the pollution, everything. You are calm down, you have more space, have more time, have more control. Then the mind will bring up a conversation and say, hey, let's try to fix this. You're angry right now. What should I do next? And you see all this happen naturally over time. So Miriam, the best way is to just keep knowing, and don't do anything. Just keep knowing, because these natural realization and development happen to everyone by themselves. So therefore, we just have to know the secret to that, and the secret is constant, continuous awareness, undivided attention, because it needs the good system need to run to clean the pollution, and then you slowly, step by step, get out of it. That's why this is the easiest way, just to keep knowing, keep knowing. Uh, uh, mm, because when you look back in your life when you're really angry, if you say I should brought up wisdom, but if we speak with reality, be truthful, as we said, even if I know I can't, right? Looking back and said I should have, but no, we cannot full well. That's why that's why we cannot fall ourselves, and we keep knowing until we can. Mm. Did I answer your question? So, oh, sorry, Miriam, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Anyone have any question? Want to add on to the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend.
So good
Christian.
to see you again.
Good to see you guys too. I've been in a moving situation, so I haven't been able to attend the sessions. But I'm pretty settled now, so I'll be joining one.
Oh, very good. Happy to see you. All right.
I had a question.
Yeah.
And I think I joined just at the right timing, because all that you said really resonated with me. And I read the summary that you recently wrote down in the chat, and I feel like it started to resonate with me more, the use of the different tools. And I also have noticed that I have a tendency to really to get ahead of myself, to want to like kind of force the process, uh, or um, or be more interested in like some other tools or some different concept, and what I'm doing then is just like skipping to something that is not really relevant to what I need to do right now and what tools I need to use right now.
Mm,
So I feel like this is just what I needed to hear.
that's very good to hear, Christian. Mm, Sometime the not gonna bad one just want us to deviate our attention from the right tools that we need right now, to something more interesting, like self ego or this or that we might like to. But then when we think about it, like, hey, how can that realistically help us? I can spend hours on it, but like, for what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that it doesn't help. It does help when you need it to be helped, right? At the
Yeah.
time where
Yeah.
you say, like, I need
Exactly.
to know about at time
Yeah.
where ego is the medication, then then we
Yeah.
have to know about it.
Exactly.
But there's not a time yet.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's why this is the thing that I want to come across last class too. Like, I want to say that, hey, it's not that it's not good to go around and this and that, but party straight, right medicine for right stage.
Yeah. Right medicine for the right stage.
Yes.
Exactly.
And last thing to add on to that, if it's the right tool, if it's the wrong tool, then find the right one. But if it's the right one, then give it time. Like medicine, you take the meds once, doesn't help. I take for a few days, right? Even doctor told me to take 7 days, even though my symptom finished on my third day. And because I didn't finish 7 day, I go back to him and he scolded me like, have to finish 7 day. So therefore, have to give it time, give it thing to really do everything. Even if you feel like I'm okay now, but deep down there's still something left that have to, detail with. So give it time. But if you give it reasonable time, reasonable everything, and if it doesn't work, then come back and ask, hey doctor, I tried your medicine for like 3 days already or 4 days. It doesn't get better. So therefore, I need a new diagnosis or new medication or prescription. So that's how we should go about doing it. Not like I'm gonna jump ship to find my own thing.
Yeah. Would you say that knowing clearly or having awareness is like the supreme tool that you will always have, regardless, continuously on the entire journey or the entire path?
Yeah. Yes. Um. From this point to enlightenment, knowing sati, sampajanya, knowing and knowing slowly is need to be used. Yeah. Even the teacher of my teacher, Long Pu, he said, stop, still, and equanimity. So when you know something, you stop. The mind should not go everywhere else. Just stop. Be still. Be still to concentrate. Stop wandering around. To stop all the chaos. Stop, so that you can bring your attention to an object. Be still so that you don't move around. Be still. Be still. So you can go deeper, deeper, deeper. And then equanimity, so that you don't get sidetracked with the good thing or the bad thing that might comes up when you go deeper. And he said these three words, from now until enlightenment, you need to use these three. Yeah. But all of that need to be on a foundation of awareness, because if you're not aware to begin with, nothing can happen. That's why this is the most important, yet the most fundamental thing. So just because it's the fundamental, we overlook that it's the most important tool. So yeah, very good question, Christian. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. I also had one more thing. The whole path seems to be a very physical process as well. All the different things that happen during the meditation and when you're kind of on this path of spiritual development, it's like everything is very physical. Everything is like from emotions and different sensations. They all happen in the body, whether good or bad. And I don't know, it was just something that I kind of found interesting.
I want to clarify that a little bit. It happened in the mind, but have a reaction on the body. And the body is part of not have a reaction on it, but the emotions in the mind, that's that the body reacts. Some people can be stressed without the bodily reaction. It's just mental stress, but then some people have that too. So on this path, body and mind goes together, but mind is more important. So we should never flip it around. Because why? Because our body is also a tool that inside our body are pollution to physical pollution. Like when you meditate, you feel pain and this and that. Nah? So that's why healing through meditation also works because we have to deal with that, but that is not the main thing. So therefore, for those who take care of their body, is monks. The reason monks give less attention to that than the mind is because the mind can heal the body. So therefore, it is but healing body doesn't heal the mind. Although it feels nice, but it's like it can be used if you need it. So doesn't mean that monk doesn't go stretch and go walk. Nah. But we put it into perspective and give the right amount of weight, not too much, not too little, and put it in a priority that mind comes first, body comes second. Nah. So there's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's like the origin of either the good or bad is not really in the body, but it's in the mind.
You can have the most jacked body Christian, but then if your mind is still incorrect, then right? No. But if you're out of a bit out of shape, but you're a very nice person because your mind is very clean, pure, then that's a different story. Right? But I cannot argue that minus a body doesn't have any impact. It does, but in comparative to the mind, it is very little. So therefore, if you give attention to the body, good, just to make sure that it's not like your body is nice enough to live in, and your body is not your burden. That's it. Take care of your body so that your body is not the burden. But apart from that, then take care of the mind.